What about kids who are stuck? So stuck is more than 6 tries, right? Is it just the latest set? Think about that for a minute. The latest set has 2 problems and their reverses. Is there any way that a kid could be stuck for 6 days of practice on 2 facts? It's like, no, it's very, very unlikely. We did have that one kid that I tested. It took him a couple of weeks to learn each set, but he was learning them solid and all that, but he needed a lot more. He went faster, though. He started picking up when he had an extra session each day. That picked up. And if he had had somebody at home to work with him, he probably could have done it in 6 days. But generally, it's not just the latest set. They probably have many previous facts that were not mastered. So don't lower the passing criteria in order for them to pass. Remember the mush and the baby. You're gonna cause them to choke if you do that. Instead, move the student backwards. And there's a section in the teacher directions on how to do that. And you can do it either one day at a time. So you move them back 1 set, let them practice that for a day, and then take the test. And if they pass that, then fine. If they don't, you move them back another one each day until you find out where they are at mastery. So for instance, for students who were cheating, they've been cheating for a while, you're going to have to do that. But somewhere in that sequence, they are at mastery. And that's where you want to put them to, and then keep them to mastery as you go up. Yes?
Could you also check the progress monitoring forms to see which facts they were consistent with?
You could, yeah, well, if they're skipping over some, that would tell you that. Or if they're getting any wrong. Typically, yeah, if they're definitely if they're skipping, you'd have to look against, well, what's been learned so far and which ones are they skipping over. But much easier to just watch them take the test and see what's going on. And I would, almost any kid will gladly get an extra try. So you say, listen, you're on number 6. I hate to move you back. Do you want to come in after school for just a couple minutes and we'll do another session? And you do a practice session with them. One of the things that I found was that kids who were stuck, if I practiced with them, I made them practice the right way, and then they passed. Or they got so close that they knew they could pass tomorrow. They were 2 away or something. So if you do that with a kid who's stuck, that'll be diagnostic. As you can see, when they're practicing orally, or what are they hesitating on, and then when they're taking the test, you can watch them closely. And sometimes you see, I've seen kids who learned a habit of looking for facts, and so they're looking around for facts, and they fill it in eventually, but it's hugely inefficient. Just go straight across. You know all these. Yes.
Just to clarify, when you say more than 6 tries, school's Monday to Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're working on the weekend with their parents,
Mm-hmm.
do you count the following Monday as 6, or do you consider their weekend practice? Do you count those?
So all I count in the 6, so you should get it in 6 tries, is just the tests. And so I particularly do not, if we give extra practice to a student another time during the day with the title teacher or the special ed teacher, that doesn't fill in a box. We don't want to do that. We're trying to get extra practices in between those. So practice at home shouldn't fill in a box either. It's just that test at school. But somewhere in there, they are at mastery. You want to get them to that point and then have them continue being at mastery.